Welcome. Today we will be covering the General Concentration Psychology Major Curriculum Checksheet. Before we begin, I want to highlight all 5 psychology concentrations. There is the General Concentration, Addiction Counseling, Clinical Counseling, Industrial Organizational, and Mind, Brain, and Behavior concentration. All incoming students must begin on the general concentration. You may also graduate on the general concentration. Over 70% of our students stay on the general track and will graduate within this curriculum. There is another video where we cover the addiction counseling, clinical counseling, industrial organizational, and mind, brain, and behavior concentrations. If you are interested in learning more about those, you may visit that video later. Curriculum overview. In this video, you will learn how to read your curriculum check sheet. We will focus on the general psychology concentration. You will also learn how to identify the remaining course requirements that you must complete. Your academic advisor has your electronic curriculum check sheet. If you need your check sheet, please email your academic advisor and they will send you the document. This is an example check sheet for CAM the RAM. If you have any questions about your specific check sheet, please consult with your academic advisor. First, I want to highlight some important symbols you may see in your check sheet. If you have FA26 in a space, such as here, that signifies you are currently registered for the course this fall 2026 semester. If you have transfer credits, you will see a capital T before the grade you received in the course. The T stands for transfer credit. For example, Cam the Ram transferred in a political science course from a different university and earned a B in that class. If you have any AP or IB scores, you may see TS. The S stands for satisfactory as you passed the final AP or IB exam. For example, Cam the Ram did the AP psychology exam and they got at least a 4, which means it is satisfying the general psychology requirement. If you have a capital letter grade without the T, that means you earned that specific letter grade at CSU. For example, Cam the Ram took music appreciation last semester and earned a B in the course. A few other symbols that I want you to be aware of are the numbers in parentheses. These indicate the number of credits a class is worth. So for example, college composition CO 150 is worth 3 credits. Anything in brackets, which we will see later, indicates any prerequisite requirements. For example, Psychology 210, Psychology of the Individual in Context. In the brackets, it says Psych 100. You must have completed Psy 100 in order to take this class. To begin, we will dive into the All-University Core Curriculum section, or the AUCC section at the very top of the curriculum check sheet. These are the core classes that every single student needs to take at CSU. There are some specific AUCC requirements for psychology majors. We can see this immediately with the first AUCC 1A requirement. All psychology majors must take CO 150 college composition. In this example, Cam the Ram is currently taking CO 150 this fall 2026 semester. Next is the quantitative requirement, AUCC 1B. For all psychology majors, we require the minimum of Math 117, College Algebra in Context Level 1, Math 118, College Algebra in Context Level 2, and Math 124, Logarithmic and Exponential Functions. Each of these courses is worth 1 credit, totaling 3 credits. In this example, Cam the Ram took an AP Calc course and did great on the final AP exam. Cam earned credit for their math requirement, which means this section is complete for them. As a psychology major, you should never take Math 101. This is a terminal course, which means it will not help you advance to the Math 117, 118, and 124 requirements. It would count as an elective, and you'd still need to work on getting placed into Math 117, 118, and 124. If you have any questions about your math plan, please consult your academic advisor. All psychology majors should complete their composition and math courses within the first 30 credits. If you do not complete these courses by 60 credits, the university will put a hold on your account. The hold is difficult to remove, so please work on getting these requirements completed soon. The next AUCC is Category 1C. This category fulfills the mission of engaging students in the study of cultural identities, exploring the interactions among these identities, and evoking reflection upon patterns of interaction related to the larger contexts in which they take place, focusing predominantly on the U.S. cultures as they are situated within a global context. As you can see, CAM transferred in a class that is counting for this requirement. Next up is Category 2 Advanced Writing Requirement. All psychology majors must take an upper division writing course. Upper division means any 300 or 400 level course. Please note the definition of what upper division coursework is. It is very important to correctly create a graduation plan. For the advanced writing, psychology majors will take this closer to their junior year. Please note that as you begin to graduation plan. Next is Category 3, Foundations and Perspectives, Biological and Physical Sciences. All CSU students must take 2 science courses, one of which must have a lab component. For psychology majors, please note you will need to take 3 total science courses. We will discuss the first 2 requirements now, and we will chat about the last science requirement in a moment. For psychology majors, we require one of the 3 science courses to be a life science course. You can choose from BZ 101, Genes, the Body, and Beyond, previously called Humans and Animals, or Life 102, Attributes of Living Systems. The second science course in this 3A category can be any option from the 3A pick list. Cam is taking Life 102 this fall, which is 4 credits because it is a lecture and a lab. The next 2 AUCC requirements are AUCC 3B, Arts and Humanities. You must take 6 credits of Arts and Humanities or 2 courses. Please note, one of the Arts and Humanities can be an intermediate foreign language course, but it does not have to be. As you can see here, Cam the Ram has taken Music Appreciation and is currently registered for Communication and Pop Culture. Both of these courses will fulfill the 3B requirement. Next, you will see the Social and Behavioral Sciences section, AUCC 3C. All psychology majors must take a social and behavioral science that is not psychology or Honor 492. Lastly, there is AUCC 3D, Historical Perspectives. All students must take a Historical Perspectives course. Identifying remaining AUCC courses. Now we will take a moment to identify the remaining AUCC courses that Cam the Ram needs to meet graduation requirements. Cam still needs, let's see, advanced writing, which we will type here, Science without a lab, so they're AUCC 3A. And lastly, CAM needs their Historical Perspectives class, AUCC 3D. Perfect. So we now have listed the remaining AUCC courses that CAM the RAM needs. We will now move on to the Supporting Courses section. The Supporting Courses section. On the right side of your curriculum check sheet are all of the supporting courses that psychology majors must take. These are courses that are not specific psychology classes, but will make you a well-rounded psychology graduate. The first requirement is communication studies. All psychology majors must take a communication studies course. This is worth 3 credits. It can be any communication studies course except SPCM 178 or any variable credit option. CAM the RAM is currently taking Communication and Pop Culture this fall. Please note, this course is allowed to double count, so it is counting here and for CAM's Arts and Humanities credit. Next is Computer Science. Every psychology major must take a computer science course worth at least 3 credits. It can be any computer science except for CS 192 or variable credit options. CAM the RAM has completed personal computing and they earned a B-, so they are complete here. Some computer science course options will double count for an arts and humanities. Next is philosophy. All students must take a 3-credit philosophy course. It can be any philosophy course except for variable credit options. It must be at least 3 credits. This is also another course that has the potential to double count elsewhere. Next is the human experience requirement. All psychology majors must take a human experience course worth at least 3 credits. It can be any course from these following options. It can be any 3-credit course except for variable credit options that is not counted elsewhere. So what that means is, unlike these 3 courses that can double count somewhere else, your human experience cannot. It can only count in this category. So the course itself can be any AUCC 1C course, any course in the Ethnic Studies Department or Women's Studies Department, or it can be Psychology of Religion, Psychology of Women, Psychology of Human Sexuality, or Psychology of Gender. Next is statistics. I want to highlight statistics is different than math. These 2 subjects live in different departments. All psychology majors must take a 300-level statistics course. You have 2 options, Stat 301 or Stat 307. As you can see, there are some prerequisite brackets highlighted here. You must take Math 117 before you can take either Stat 301 or Stat 307. Let's chat about the differences between these 2 courses. Stat 301 and 307 cover the exact same content. The only difference are the examples in the courses. Stat 301 focuses on examples and learning within the social sciences. Stat 307 focuses on the exact same content, but the examples are based in biology. So, depending on your goals and your interests, you get to choose on which one of those 2 classes fits your interests better. Lastly is your additional science category. Previously in the AUCC overview, I mentioned that all psychology majors must take 3 sciences. This is your third science. Your additional science must be at least 3 credits. You can select a science course from the following options. It can be any 3 to 5 credit course. Please note for this category, it cannot be BZ 101 or Life 102. You must take either one of those in the AUCC category. It cannot be counted elsewhere either. So again, this must be a unique course in this area. So your options can be astronomy, biochemistry, human physiology, botany, zoology, chemistry. You could take a second computer science course, data science, life science, math at the calculus level or above, physics, or a second 300 or 400 level statistics course. Now, we will take a moment to identify the remaining supporting courses that CAM-the-RAM needs to meet graduation requirements. For supporting courses, CAM still needs their philosophy, CAM still needs their human experience, CAM still needs statistics and additional science. So remember, you can do Stat 301 or 307, and there is the additional science mapped out. These 4 courses are the remaining supporting courses that CAM-the-RAM needs. Psychology Courses Overview. Now, the last part of this check sheet is the left-hand side, beginning with the Psychology Core. The Psychology Core contains 16 credits worth of coursework that every single psychology major must complete. Please note, for the core, you must earn a C or higher in each of these courses. To begin is Psychology 100 General Psychology. Previously, I mentioned that CAM-the-RAM had taken the AP Psychology exam and earned at least a 4. That means that they have earned credit for Psych 100. Next is the Psychology First Year Seminar, worth 1 credit. CAM-the-RAM is currently taking this fall 2026 semester. Next is Psychology of the Individual in Context, worth 3 credits, and in the brackets, it highlights Psych 100 being a prerequisite. Next is Psychology 250, Research Design and Analysis, Level 1. CAM-the-RAM is currently taking this in the fall 2026 semester. Next is Mind, Brain, and Behavior for 3 credits. This also has the prerequisite of Psych 100. Next is Psychology 350, Research, Design, and Analysis Level 2. Psych 350 is a 300 level course, which makes it upper division. Again, please note, upper division means any 300 or 400 level course. The prerequisite to take this course is Psy 250, which is Research, Design, and Analysis Level 1. Most students will take this second level research course, Psych 350, in their junior or senior year. Please make note of that as you begin your graduation plan. Now we will identify which remaining psychology core classes that CAM-the-RAM needs. To begin this list, we have Psychology 210, Psychology of the Individual in Context, Psychology 252, Mind, Brain, and Behavior, and Psychology 350, Research, Design, and Analysis Level 2. Those are the 3 remaining core classes that CAM-the-RAM needs. We will now move on to the Psychology Lecture Lab pairings. In this category, you will see a bunch of options. Do not worry, you do not need to complete all of these. In the fine print, it says you only need to select 2 pairings from this list, and down below it states you only need 1 additional lecture not yet taken from this list above. For your psychology lecture labs, please note you will be taking 11 to 13 credits. The variation within that is because some labs are 1 credit, while other labs are 2 credits. Every lecture of the pairings are worth 3 credits. Also, please note, each lecture lab pairing, you must earn at least a C or higher in each. Also, the lecture is always concurrent or the prerequisite for the lab. This means you must take the lecture first or alongside the lab. You can take the lab in a later semester. These courses are small, which means they can be very difficult to get a spot in. So you are more than welcome to take the lecture first and wait a semester or 2 before you can get into a lab. Please note, some of these pairings have a capital F in brackets. So on here, Organizational Psych Lecture and Lab are a fall-only course. If you see a capital S in brackets, like for Industrial Psychology Lecture Lab, that means these courses are spring only. Select 1 additional lecture not yet taken from the list above. So after you complete your 2 pairings, you must also complete an additional lecture. Here are the codes of the courses listed above. You need to take 1 last lecture without the lab. So, for example, Cam the Ram hopes to do Social Psychology Lecture Lab, Cognitive Psychology Lecture Lab, and for their additional lecture, they want to take Cognitive Neuroscience Psych 458. You do not need to choose the exact lecture labs that you want to take right now. But if you have very specific interests, you are welcome to choose them. Now we will take a moment to identify the remaining psychology lecture lab courses that Cam the Ram needs to meet graduation requirements. Cam the Ram is going to leave these vague just to wait to choose specific courses for the lecture labs when the time is coming closer. So for now, we will write psych lecture/lab, psych lecture/lab for those 2 pairings, and then we're going to put additional psy lecture for that last requirement. Please note, all psychology lecture labs are at the 300-400 level. That means that these courses are upper division courses. Now we will discuss the last 2 psychology requirements, the Capstone seminar and additional psychology courses. Psychology Capstone Seminar. All psychology majors must take the Psychology Capstone Seminar. It is worth 3 credits and you must earn a C or higher in the class. The capstone has the most prerequisites, and you must be a senior in order to take this course. The capstone is a regular lecture-based class. You are not learning anything new in the course. Instead, you are wrapping up the past few years of your undergraduate studies. We like to call the capstone seminar the last chapter of a book. It's wrapping up all that you've learned, and there is a bit of a historical context and timeline building in the course. You will bridge historical ideas and concepts within psychology and how the field was created, all the way to modern times and how we still use some of those concepts today. Additional psychology courses. We also like to call these psychology electives. All psychology majors on the general concentration must take 4 psychology electives. Please note the wording here. Select 12 credits of psych courses not used to fulfill any other requirements. So these must be specific courses to this section. Your senior capstone cannot count for this section and this. Okay? So for these 4 psychology electives, please note 9 credits or 3 of these courses must be upper division and non-special study. What that means is you will be choosing 3 300, 400 level regular psychology elective courses. There are so many great options to choose from. Some include adolescent psychology, psychopathology, forensic psychology, positive psychology, health psychology, and so many more. Please work with your academic advisor to identify psychology electives being offered in the next term that you are registering for. Last 3 credits or 4th course for your psychology elective, it may be a lower division course, so at the 100-200 level, and or special studies. What this means is your last psychology elective can be a 100 level course or a 200 level course, or it could be a special studies opportunity. Special studies entails being a research assistant with a psychology faculty member, being a teaching assistant for a psychology faculty member, or you could even do an internship within the psychology field and earn these 3 credits. It is a great opportunity to continue building professional bonds with psychology faculty or members within the psychology field outside of CSU. Now, we will take a moment to identify the remaining capstone and additional psychology courses CAM the RAM still needs. CAM the RAM will still need their senior capstone seminar, which is Psych 493, and CAM the RAM still needs all 4 additional psychology electives. Remember, the first one can be lower division, but the other 3 must be upper division. I am denoting upper division here with UD, which stands for upper division. This highlights the remaining psychology requirements that CAM the RAM needs in order to graduate. We have now covered the entire curriculum check sheet for the general concentration. One category that I do want to highlight is the electives section. On the general concentration, you will need anywhere from 23 to 29 credits of electives to earn your bachelor's degree in psychology. CAM the RAM has taken 1 elective so far. However, we cannot be sure exactly how many more electives CAM will need until we create a graduation plan. That is why we have not identified any remaining electives. That will come next in the graduation planning process. Lastly, on your electronic curriculum check sheet on the very last page, I want to highlight some important information. There are additional policies and resources on this page. You will learn more about AUCC options. You will also learn about graduation requirements. As we begin to graduation plan, please note you must earn at least 120 credits to earn a Bachelor of Science in Psychology. From these credits, 42 of them must be upper division. Remember, 300 or 400 level courses. 30 of those upper division credits must be completed at CSU. In order to remain in good academic standing and to graduate, you must have a minimum of a 2.0 cumulative GPA. Also, please note, you will need at least a 2.0 cumulative GPA in your AUCC course section. You may review remaining policies on this page whenever you would like. That concludes the general curriculum check sheet overview.